Hello, everyone. I feel like the beginner with Zoom. I don't know why I can't hear you, but I'm assuming everyone can hear me because I've gotten some thumbs up. So we're going to go with, if you have questions, you can use, Carrie, can you hear other people talking? Can y'all hear each other? Can everybody just hear me? Okay.
I could
you can
hear.
hear me.
I could hear Carrie
Right.
and I can hear you.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Lindy Dunn, and I am the system test coordinator. I know some of you I have emailed back and forth, and it's good to put a face for some of you with a name and to get to work with you. So I'm going to be conscious of your time. I know that it is the first day back. Everyone has had a busy day. I appreciate you meeting with me today. If you have any questions, you can put them directly in the chat, and between me and my team, you should be able, one of us will be able to answer it or get an answer for you. On my team, I have Patrick Knopf, who is the Director of Research and Accountability. We have Carrie Van Pelt, who is our data specialist. She knows everything that has to do with numbers. And then we have Tamika Vanderhorst, who many of you have already been in contact with because she is the master of Mastery Connect. And I know she has been in contact about our lovely QBAs. So first thing first, I want to make sure everyone has joined our Canvas page. I believe you have. If you haven't, that is going to be the best place to get information. So I highly recommend joining our page if you have not. I'm going to share our screen so that we can get started. Okay, everybody see the lovely, not that. Just kidding. Okay. This is for access testing, which is ESOL testing. Our ESOL teachers, if you have ESOL stationed in your school, they are going to be testing your children. You should know if you have an ESOL teacher in your building. Hopefully you know. If you are a parent waiver school, then someone will be coming into your building to test. If it's elementary school, it is going to be Lauren and Angel, who is over ESOL and our ESOL academic coach. And if it is middle or high school, there are various other people who work for the district who are going to be coming in to test your students. I've already emailed all the schools the list of the middle and high school. Hey, here's the person who's going to be testing for you, and here's the time frame in which they will come and test for you. So if you have not gotten that email, you can't find it, you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will have my contact information at the end, though all of you know how to reach out to me because I sent you the link.
Or I'll touch base with you tomorrow.
Sorry. Have my email address.
Thank you.
There's the two different types of schools, parent waiver schools, ESOL schools. There's a difference. But no matter which school you have, you are going to have some of the same responsibilities. One of the big responsibilities is you're going to have test security. You're going to lock up the material every day. You're going to have them sign it out, sign it back in. It's going to live in your testing closet, just like it does for milestones. It's just a different version. It's our ESOL testing. Student management, you are going to help, and this might be new for some of you, especially parent waiver schools. You actually are going to log in to DRC, which is our platform. I'll show you in a minute, and just verify that your parent waiver students are in DRC, and you're actually going to print the test tickets and make sessions if needed. Sessions are in there if the students were enrolled at your school. I think it was November 15th that we did the upload, but if you have ESOL students who have enrolled since then they will not be in the system. We had to pick a date, and that was the date we uploaded. But we all know ESOL students move, they come in, especially at Christmas break. You might get more students today, tomorrow, within the next week. They will still test for access. You are also, as the test coordinator, going to monitor the progress, and you're going to make sure the material gets returned. You're going to report any irregularities to myself. You're gonna make sure you get irregularities from your teachers. And just because there's an irregularity doesn't mean there's anything like bad has happened. We're not freaking out. My one thing with testing is we are all going to remain calm, because freaking out isn't going to help anybody or any situation. So we're going to remain calm. We're going to make sure we document. We're going to ask questions if we have questions. I am the queen of asking questions. And so you are not going to bother me with questions, because this time last year I was in your shoes and I called this office all the time to ask questions. Everybody super helpful. A couple of things, and I've already, none of this should be a surprise. Some big things I need you to go ahead, you can do now, because testing starts next week. Make sure your computers are up to date. Most of you have, everybody has one-on-one devices. So make sure your students are testing on the devices they use on a regular basis. You shouldn't be like pulling random computers out of the back of the media center that haven't been touched in the last 6 to 8 months. You're probably going to have issues then. But if it's the Chromebook your students have been using on a daily basis, it should go really smoothly. The second thing is locate headphones with a microphone for your computers. I emailed test coordinators and principals. It should not be a shock. We do not have headphones with microphones to give you. I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure everybody knows. You need to have headphones with a functioning microphone that you have tested before the first day of testing. So if you don't have any of those, that gives you a little bit of time to locate, borrow, find, purchase, all that fun stuff. The next thing, a quiet room for your ESOL students to test in. This was one of the big concerns yesterday when I met with the ESOL teachers, is we don't have a quiet place to test. Our principal finds us a room, our test coordinator finds us a room, but it's a room with a copier in it. And while I'm testing, even though there's a testing do not disturb sign on my door, people come in and start making copies, or I continue to get all calls. I fill in the blank with what distractions are. I know that access testing is a long window, like milestones. We can get it done in 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. And access testing takes a much longer time, but we still have to provide those students with an adequate testing environment to be able to do their best. These students are, it's just as serious as milestones. They are showing what they know and how much they've improved and learned English compared to their native language. And so we just want to ensure that we have provided what we can do for them to have their best testing environment. One of those things, make sure your ESOL teacher / you have everyone in the office knows the testing schedule, that I'm going to be testing every day from 9 to 11, so that a fire drill is not scheduled during that time. Now, if it's actually an emergency, people can't help that. But some things are scheduled weeks, months ahead of time. They have somebody who comes out to ring the fire bell, fire drill. And so if you know that's happening, we can stop it beforehand if they're actually going to be testing, or let the person know, hey, we have a fire drill at 10 o'clock. Don't start testing until we get back inside. And stress to your teachers, if there's a testing do not disturb sign on a door, unless it's an emergency, don't go in that classroom. Don't disturb them. Allow the students to test, especially because there's some aspects of the test, like they only get to hear it once. And if something's happening and the student misses that opportunity, they don't get another do-over. They can't like play it again. It's not like on milestones where they can just read it over and over. They don't get another chance on some of the sections. Same thing with the speaking, like they get their shot to do it. It's not an unlimited trial. They can't just keep going back. So a nice place for them to work. All of the information for this is in the student assessment handbook, which is on Godot's website. It's on our Canvas page. I will send it at the end of this presentation today. I want everybody to know that the student assessment handbook is your go-to. We will answer all the questions in the whole wide world that you have for us. But if you want to get to something and I'm not available, I haven't answered, you're looking at and nobody's gotten back to you, the student assessment handbook is where we get our answers from. So I will send that to you, but it's also on the public website. There's also our 2022-2023 school test coordinator Canvas page, which I've tried to put a plethora of information. I tried to make it very user-friendly, very intuitive of, oh, here's my test. Oh, here's my grade level, to know exactly where to go to get your information. DRC, WIDA. Everyone who's on the Zoom call should have a WIDA, a DRC login. If you do not have one, we're going to remain calm. At the end of the meeting, I want everyone to log in. If you're unable to log in, you're going to email me and be like, hey, I can't log in. Perfect. We will make sure you can log in by the time you leave tomorrow. I'm not going to promise today, but we will definitely have it done by tomorrow so you can get in to do all the fun stuff with WIDA. This is the same platform in which you do milestone stuff, except for you click on WIDA instead of Georgia. As soon as you log in, remember, one of the big things we're doing is checking our students. We are checking to make sure all of our students are there. So when you log in, you're going to go to student management. From here, if you need to add a student, you can add a student. You can find a student. You can add a student. All the fun things with students. You're going to up for the administration. This is access testing. And so you're going to want to make sure that you change the administration. For the district, Muskogee County, you're going to click on your school. Even though you only have access to one school, you still got to go through the process and click on it. If you are looking for a specific student, you can type in their last name, their first name, their GTID number, find the student, and it's going to show you. If you have a new student to add, you're going to click add student, and then you're going to fill in all the boxes in which you fill in their last name, their first name, their middle initial, their GTID number, their date of birth, their gender, their race, all the things. All the stuff for this screen can be found on Infinite Campus on their summary page, where it has their name, race, all the things. That's what we go by. If you are unsure of what to put somewhere, please contact us and we can help you with that. The one thing that you might actually need help with is there's a spot for language. And if you get in touch with us, we can help you with their native language if you're unaware of it, because not all of our native languages are Spanish. We have a lot of different languages from a lot of different countries. Are we good? Anybody have any questions in the chat box? Okay. Once you have a student, there's another process. Step one was making sure they're in the system. Now you need to make sure they're in a test session and print test tickets. So from this screen, you click on test management. From test management, you're going to go through and make sure you click on the access testing. So that is the Georgia Access for ELLs 2023, your district, your school, and then you will show sessions, and it will show all of your sessions, all the sessions. From here, if you need to add the student that you just put in the system, you're going to click on that little first thing, and it's like add a student. Boop. If you need to add a session, like, oh, I just got a 4th grader. I didn't have any 4th graders, and now I need to do it. Then you can actually click on add a session. When it's time to print, because we get to print the tickets, and if you were at an ESOL school, please do this with your ESOL teacher. They asked me to stress that yesterday. Please include them in the process. They were instructed, if you have not gotten in contact with them by Monday, they are supposed to come find you on Monday and say, hello, we haven't done test tickets yet, and I want to make sure I'm part of the process. So if they come and harass you, I did tell them they could come and find you on Monday. Now on Monday, if you want to set a time to work with them on Tuesday, that's fabulous. But that way it's not Wednesday and they're like, I'm testing, what's happening? I don't know what's going on. So make sure, I know it is Thursday. I know this is a super quick turnaround, but sometime tomorrow, Monday, go in here, look, make sure you know what to do. You verified your students. If you're parent waiver students, I've sent you names of parent waiver students. Your parent waiver students are also in Elevation, which is through Clever. Hopefully everyone knows what I'm talking about. If you don't, I know Lauren has sent some stuff out regarding elevation and checking on your ESOL students. It would be good to know who they were, because even though they're not being supported with ESOL classes, they probably still need some support. So that would be beneficial for you to look at them through elevation. But you can print options, you can print your tickets. It's gonna print 4 tickets per page. We need to cut them and organize them, because you don't need to give Sally Joe the same ticket, the same piece of paper that Paola is getting, because they don't need each other's information. So you have to cut them up and organize it. This is where we're getting with our ESOL teacher, because everybody has their system. Everybody has what they want to do and what works with them. And we're remaining calm. So if we include them in the system, everything might work better. Whatever system works for you. I personally would probably get envelopes, because they're small pieces of paper, and put all of like the 2nd grade listening together and the 2nd grade speaking together. But you're going to do what works best for your school and your teachers. You might have a different way that is fabulous. By all means, do it. And if it's great, share it with me so I can tell other people who aren't quite sure how to start. I'll give you all the props. I won't take credit. I'll be like, hey, Virginia showed me this of how wonderful it's working. So please share your great ideas. You need to make sure you have a sign in and sign out every day for your teachers. I had some teachers yesterday that were like, it makes it really hard if I just sign out these 4 tickets, because I actually end up being able to do a makeup testing. And it would be really beneficial if I could check out all the 4th grade tickets at one time. Great. You just need to know that you're responsible for checking them in, making sure they're there, and then checking them out and then checking them back in. They don't just get to keep them. And I know access testing is almost 2 months long, and it's really long, and you're tired of it. I get that. But they still have to check them out and check them in daily. So your ESOL teacher is going to be your best friend. And it's okay. It'll be great. They will appreciate your smiling face twice a day, when they check out the material and when they check it back in. I'm going to reiterate this one more time. Please ensure they have a quiet place to test with no distractions. Make sure your office knows where they are testing, so they do not call into that room by accident. You're going to monitor, check on your ESOL teachers daily, check on if you've got people who come into your building who aren't normally there. Like my parent waiver schools, you'll have people in there 2 or 3, 4 days possibly. They might not know your school, so make sure you take them to where they need to go. You help them, you answer any questions, you monitor their progress. Every time they check out material, it would be a good practice to have some sort of a regularity sheet for them. Not meaning anything is going to go wrong, but preemptively, if anything happens, they have somewhere they can document it to turn it back into you. So when they turn in their material, they can be like, here's my test session log. Sally Joe had her phone out and Nicholas had to go to the bathroom 12 times. Well, was Sally Joe using her phone? No, it was just sitting there. Well, then that's not an irregularity, but we have it reported in case anything comes of it. Same thing with a seating chart with your material every day when they sign it out. I would just go ahead and have a seating chart. That's best practices. It's good to always have when they sign out their material. Their seating chart in case there's any questions. You know that Rhonda and Virginia were sitting next to each other. So if there's any questions, it's there to document it, and you'll just keep all of that on this at the school with your signing in and signing out, all that lovely information. Kindergarten through 3rd, you guys have physical answer sheets and physical test books for your students, or physical answer sheets for your students. 4 through 12 will test on the computer. It's very similar to Milestones, except for there's 4 sections and they need to have the headphones with the working microphone. Middle and high school, with the exception of the 3 people I emailed today, your stuff was ponied to you because there's nothing secure. It just has the manual, like the TAM to read out of, but nothing is secure. So that was ponied over to you. If you didn't get it today, you should get it on Monday. All of my middle school people / the 3 high school all my elementary school people, and then the 3 special people get to come see me tomorrow or Monday. I know you're super excited. You get to come up to McPeck. You'll actually sign out your material. We will count them together to ensure everyone has the material that they need. Everyone has the material that's in their box. You'll sign, I'm taking my box with my 47 things in it back to your school. When you get back to your school, you're going to count it again with your ESOL teacher, if you're in ESOL school, because they would like to be a part of the process. That way, if they've gotten 6 more 3rd graders in the past week or since those were ordered, they know I need to find 6 more 3rd grade books. So you're going to come tomorrow or Monday. Most of you have signed up. I think there's only 3 that have not signed up. When you get back to the school, you're going to count them again with your ESOL teacher, and they have some time to get what they need. I've already talked to them. They know the process. Then you will lock it all up in your secure testing closet room, wherever your testing stuff is at your school, and then they will sign it in and out daily. Okay. I talked really fast, and I gave a lot of information. Does anyone have questions? Let me look at my chat. Beep. Please hold. Screen. Stop share. Okay. You may have, ooh, Miss Moore. You have access to student information, including home language and elevation. I said we would help you with home language. Miss Moore clarified that is in elevation, which is through Clever. Thank you, Miss Moore. The main request is that once the tickets are printed, please allow the ESOL teacher to cut and organize them like they like to do. Everyone has their own system. If you have ESOL students in your school and you have an ESOL teacher, please include them in the process. We are not trying to add anything extra to the test coordinator's plates. I know you're busy and you have 9,000 things you're doing, so please include your ESOL teacher in the process. Organize your tickets. If a student is absent, you're going to need to put those somewhere separate. They're going to need to do makeup testing. It's a lot easier if you keep up with the absent tickets for makeup testing than it is to go in and reprint them. Reprinting is always an option. I don't think you're going to want to do that, but you can. If all else fails, you can go in and print tickets again. I had some people say, hey, I need to change my sign-in time for Monday. Go back to the link and just change your time for Monday. Pick a different time. Lauren asks, when I look in elevation, I see no students on record for double churches. I will have Lauren reach out to you. Lauren.
Thank you,
Lauren.
Lindy.
I don't know why I can't hear you. I'm not an idiot with technology, but it's not liking me today. But I will have our ESOL Lauren reach out to you, Ms. Hall, and we will get that figured out because they should be in there. Yeah. Anyone on my team have anything they want to add? I know they can't hear you, but you can come in my office and add it.
I do, real quick.
Patrick does. Can y'all hear him? Is it just me who can't hear him?
Okay, guys, one of the main irregularities that we have that the state looks very closely at, and so I just want to put it on your radar, and Lindy mentioned it, but taking care of those tickets, meaning if you have a student that's absent, keeping up with that ticket and not losing track of it by accidentally giving a kid the wrong ticket, because that is the one error that happens that the state will look at and say, okay, the adult mishandled the material. So please be very careful with the tickets. Make sure that you don't give the wrong ticket to the wrong kid. And again, if you're dealing with ESOL students, especially in the younger grades where they may not always be proficient, just really try to make sure that you are paying close attention to where you're storing your tickets. If kids are out, not giving the tickets out, don't just look at the schedule and say, well, today's Wednesday, this kid's supposed to have a ticket. Make sure that you know where the tickets are going, who's getting them, and that you're counting them when they come back.
I am back. Sorry, I went over to listen to what he was saying because y'all can hear him, but my computer doesn't like me, and it's fine. Okay. Any other questions? I want to make sure we get all of your questions answered. I don't want anybody to be confused. But if you do get confused, you can always call us and we will pick up the phone and help you.
Are you going to be sending this PowerPoint again so that we can go through the steps just in case? Because I've never had an ESOL student and I only have one, but I want to make sure I still do everything correctly.
I'm so sorry. I just realized she can't hear you. Sabrina, yes, we'll send the PowerPoint out. It'll be in the test coordinator's Canvas page also. So yeah, you'll have it there. But again, like Lindy said, if questions come up, we're here. So it's better to ask before. So by all means, if you need to walk through it or you need help with that, let us know and we will gladly help you. But yes, this will be available in the test coordinator's Canvas page.
Thank you.
Anybody else? There are several questions who have popped up into the chat. We will go through and answer those. I'm not going to go away. I'm going to go through and answer these. I've put the sign in once again in the chat. If you did not sign in at the beginning, make sure you sign in now. Carrie, Tamika, Patrick, anything else? Or Lauren, Angel, anything else you would like to add? Okay. It was lovely meeting with everyone today. I'm going to keep going through these questions, but if you did not have any questions, feel free to jump off. If you do have questions, you can say, I can't hear you, but the rest of my team can hear you, and we will get you the answer.
Lindy, the only thing I see that you didn't get is someone's asking about guidance logging into DRC.
Yes. Yes, Kevin Johnson logging into DRC. Did you try to log into DRC or have you never logged into DRC?
I've never logged into DRC before. I didn't know where to go.
Okay. Kevin, what'll happen is when we set you up with a login, are you a new test coordinator, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. When we will set you up with a login there to be able to access the information for Arnold, and you'll get an email telling you to go sign in. So we'll get you added and you'll get an email that'll walk you through. And it also on the test coordinator's Canvas site, which I'll get Lindy to send you the link for that as well. You can find the information you need for how to navigate through DRC and get things set up.
Okay. And I also have a question, but I can ask either you or Lindy privately.
Okay, that's fine. If you want to call us at 2020, you can do that also. If after we hop off of here, if you want to give us a holler on 2020, we can do that.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
I have a question. So I'm on the Canvas page and I am trying to look up the test administrator or examiner's responsibilities. I clicked on the link, but it says access denied. Also, one of the other
For the
hyperlinks
people
there.
who've never seen elevation,
Oh,
if you-
Lindy, hang on. Lindy, hang on a second. I'm sorry.
sorry,
Go ahead. I'm sorry about that, Jessica. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. The links on the preparing for the access test and what the schools need to know about access for ELL. Both of the links here, when I'm clicking on them to make sure I have all of the things, the administrative responsibilities, and the website is giving me access denied. And then
Okay,
I also need DRC access as well.
okay. Will you send that in an email to us?
Yes.
So we can make sure, and Kevin, if you do me a favor, if you would do the same, just so we can make sure that anyone that needs to have credentials added or to be added to the courses, we can do that. Generally, what happens is the principal nominates the person, so please copy your principal on it as well. Just because the principal's supposed to, there was a nomination form, but that helps us because the state requires that technically the principal is the test coordinator. So it has to be a designee of the principal, which means we really need them to sort of say, hey, this is my person, to help us with that. So if you can do that with an email and copy your principal on it, then we'll hop on getting you guys set up, okay?
All right, will do.
Thank you. All right, Lindy, I'm sorry about that.
I was just saying for elevation, you will go into Clever and then there's actually a button that says elevation. Angel put it in the chat as well. When you're in Clever, you'll click on it and you should have access. If you do not have access, let us know. And I'm gonna save the chat. There's a couple people saying their school isn't showing anyone in elevation, and I will get with Angel and Lauren about that.
Hey, if everybody can still hear me, if you do not have access in elevation and would like to see that information, send an email to Lauren Lohman and I will put her email in the.
Okay, I'm looking here. There's a few that are saying they need access. Again, if you'll send us an email copying your principal on there, we will get you set up with DRC access. And Lindy, there was a question about a student from Jeremy. I don't know if you can see it in the chat.
Let's see. Yes, the student needs all 4 sections.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's everything, Lindy, that I can see. Other than login, which again, email with principal copied so we can verify that you're the right person to give access to. And then you'll get an invite email that'll ask you to log in and all that.
And the invite email comes immediately. So as soon as we put it in, you get an email. So if you put in the chat today that you need access, if you don't have access by the time you get to work tomorrow, email us again, because I'm going to put it in as soon as this ends.
We need an email from you.
Yes, once we get your email.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick,
Yes,
this
Hey,
is
Lois.
Lois. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. If I have a student who has a waiver, will my teachers know or will I have gotten a list on that?
Lindy, the question is, if they have a waiver student, will they know that or will their teachers have been given a list?
They should know that. I emailed names of specific students to the test coordinators for middle and high, and elementary will be in contact from Lauren and Angel.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question about elevation because I've never been on it before. When I click on it, I do have access to it. Would the student's name pop up automatically? Because mine is saying 00 on the first page that pops up. And I just don't know what I'm actually looking for in elevation.
I'm gonna have to defer to Angel. Angel, do you know the answer to that?
Can you hear? I hear them.
Is Angel still on?
Listen, it's all the way up.
I see Lauren saying she can't hear me. So Rita, let me get you in. We'll get you an answer.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not familiar, we're not familiar with that platform, but we'll try to get with the ESL folks to get you an answer to it. You're saying you're seeing 0 though right now? You're showing 0?
Yes, but
Okay.
once again, I've never been on it, so I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm supposed to be looking at.
I gotcha. Okay. Okay, Lauren's saying she can't unmute. Probably what we'll do is we'll just get you with Lauren, Sabrina, to make sure that you've got what you need in there.
Okay, 'cause I know that Lauren's one who emailed me about the one student that I have.
Yeah,
I do have a room set up already put to the side for testing,
okay.
but I was unaware about all of this until this meeting actually, so I feel very
Okay.
confused now.
Okay, well, we'll get you unconfused. Is there anyone else?
I see your question, Jeremy, and first grade is a paper, and so that's why they have not gotten in contact, or that's why it's not in there.
Which means someone will need to pick up the paper. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see, Darielle. Okay, you're good.
Yes, Lauren and Angel will be in contact about which dates. I assumed you knew the dates and the students. I sent it to the middle and high school, and they are sending it to the elementary.
Okay, Lindy, I don't see any other questions in the chat.
Okay, I'm gonna save the chat and go back through it, so if your question has not been answered. Lauren said she sent it out to all elementary school prior to the break, so check your email for Lauren and ESOL to see if they have any information. If you're elementary and you still can't find it, go back and search their calendar invites. So go look on your calendar, because once you accept it, then it disappears from your email, because that's how Outlook works.
Ms. Dunn, you both emailed me before the break. Like I told you, when I have the date, it's in my email and I have the room saved. But like I said, I'm very much confused right now.
That's okay. Pick up the phone and call me after the meeting.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Okay, thank you, test coordinators. Thank you, amazing RA team who got me through that. I don't know why my computer's not working. Carrie looked at it too. It's not working. I don't know. But I'm in her office and I can hear you now. So, thank you very much. Email if you have any questions, comments, concerns. It's gonna be a great year.